All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Heat number 1 from Lernerville. Pops Moore and John Rayner on the front row. Armando Melgosa and John Halter have the second row for heat number 1. All the drivers are headed out on track. Looks like it's likely going to be 2 heats before we get to the feature, but folks, as stated, it is a triple header tonight, and John Halter did not make the grid. And here we go. Pace truck is diving in. Let's get going at Lernerville. Green flag is in the air. Heat 1 is underway. Man, what an exciting night. We are so excited to have dirt racing back. Pops Moore to the lead right off the bat. Pops clearing traffic quickly. Armando now up into second. They spread out early as John Rayner now in third. Now this track is a little bit of a fun one. You see him going right up by the rim on the outside line. But you have to be careful a little too far. You're going down the hill and you're going to wreck into some boats. Pops out front with 3 laps to go. Already pulling out to a 2-second lead. I talked to Pops before the race. He was excited and ready to go racing here tonight. You can see why. He is flying around this track. Armando in second. Rayner in third as they get the white flag for Heat 1. And it looks like Pops is going to dominate this one. As Pops Moore wins Heat 1. Joe Halter did not make the grid. We'll see if he makes it for the feature. On to heat number 2, John Tobias and Pat Boyce on the front row. Terry Landis, Bob Curtis on the second row. Folks, obviously this thing is popping off already tonight, but let's talk about real quick what else we have to come tonight. Right after this, we go to Daytona. And they are taking the IndyCar. The Legacy Dallara DW12 takes to the track in Daytona. And then later tonight, the Xfinity cars go to Kansas. So just a great combination of cars, a great combination of tracks. And we have this to look forward to week in and week out. Dirt racing to start Tuesday. And then a whole lot of excitement after. Looks like Pat Boyce may have a blinking problem. They go single file. John Tobias has gone to pit road. Green flag is in the air for Heat 2. Pat Boyce already got a big jump on the field. Terry Landis in second now as he goes to the bottom and takes it from Bob Curtis. Curtis, though, right on his back bumper. Pat Boyce opening up a bit of a lead up front. He just set the fastest lap, but Terry Landis set an even faster lap, and he is trying to close back in. Terry about 9/10 of a second back and gaining every lap. A little bottle, though, may have given him a setback. They're coming out of 4. Track still very fresh. When we get to the feature, we may see a very clean track. These 360s, they don't slick off the track as much as the 410s, but they will slick it off, and that outside line will get very sketchy in the feature. As the white flag flies for Heat 2, Pat Boyce has a bit of a blink. He comes back. Landis closes up, but it won't be enough. Pat Boyce wins Heat 2. All the drivers heading back to pit road. Now on to the warm-up. They've got 3 minutes to get the car tuned and ready to go. Final adjustments and final chance to find that little bit more speed here at Lernerville. Looks like Terry Landis is the first one to make it out on track. Had a little bit of a technical difficulty there. We just got it fixed. Huge shout out. I have to say, you know, I worked with a lot of leagues over the years. The cooperation with Retreads and the Coast to Coast Racing Group has been phenomenal. A great group of guys to work with so far. Very, very happy to be here. And of course, you know, we started out broadcasting on dirt races. Over the years, we've had less and less, so we are very excited to have these back on track, and there will be alternating week in and week out. Tonight's the 360s, and I do believe next week will be the 358 big blocks, and they will alternate between the sprints and the big blocks, making for some fun racing. Hey, good evening, Jacob. All right, Jacob and Hewitt are going to be disappointed between races. I put a different song to play. A little bit of chaos coming out of turn 4 as we've got a lot of the drivers now out on track. Joe Halter still has not come out. All right, Jacob, I might change it. We'll see. John Tobias is out on track now. Pops Moore still the fastest. But Pat Boyce getting closer and closer. And Terry Landis just tops the leaderboard with just a few seconds left to go before the feature here at Lernerville. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. The feature from Lernerville. Pops Moore and Pat Boyce on the front row. Armando Melgoza, Terry Landis on the second row. John Rayner and Bob Curtis have the third row. Joe Halter and John Tobias round out the field. Not sure if those two drivers will make the grid. Everybody getting stacked up on the grid as always. If you have a favorite driver in the field, don't forget to drop into the comments and let us know who you're cheering for. Pops Moore will be in control on the start. And remember, as this track slicks off, that outside lane becomes extraordinarily dangerous. There is a huge drop-off. You go over that and go a little bit too far, you're going down the hill. There are a few boats down there you can go look at, but not where you want to be. And here we go. Pace truck dives to pit road. Pat Boyce a little bit of a blink, and here we go. Green flag is in the air. They are underway. Pops gets a great start. Heads to the high side immediately out of 2. Terry Landis, though, on the attack. Landis was the fastest in practice. He's got to run underneath for second place at the moment. Pat Boyce in third, having some connection problems. John Tobias has had a problem and gone to pit road. See what happened with John. Oh, a little bit of bumping out of 2, and oh, holy cow. He gets bumped and sent almost to pit road. Rough start to the night for John. Jacob Morgan said, "Don't fear the brisket." I never fear brisket. I love brisket. Pat Boyce has moved back into second. Terry Landis now up into third. Landis was battling for second a moment ago. Will he get back in the fight? Armando currently in fourth. Bob Curtis now up to fifth. John Rayner in sixth. Joe Alter did not take the grid. Pops has dominated the night so far. Pat Boyce trying to close that 0.4 of a second gap. Terry Landis really making that bottom line work, currently in third. That bottom line here does get a bit tricky, though. It is hard to get the car to turn down there and shoot off. If you nail it right, you can pick up a lot of ground. We saw Landis battling for second a few moments ago, but he has lost some ground, has moved it up to that middle lane. Pops continues to lead, but Pat Boyce is right there behind him now. John Tobias is back out on track just ahead of the leaders as the entry to turn 3 starts to slick off. Entry to turn 1 starting to slick off as well. Drivers moving up higher in the turn. Top 3 have tightened back up. Terry Landis just set the fastest lap of the race. He goes to the bottom trying to get the run underneath for second. Out of turn 4, Landis almost has it. Pat has the advantage, the momentum advantage on the high side, pulls ahead, and Pops now has to contend with lap traffic as Pat and Terry both closing in. Pat got the wall out of turn 4. Pat has dropped back into third. Terry all the way to the grass. Oh, big bobble. Pops gets a little bit of breathing room as second and third battle and have to contend with lap traffic. Armando lost a lot of ground in the early going, but with the lap traffic in the way, he is closing back up rapidly. Landis still sits in second place. He is hanging it all out. A little squirrely off 4. Pops Moore went to the bottom. That time looks like he is testing out the bottom now, as that high line really starts to slick off. Pat still lurks in 3rd. Armando gained some ground in 4th for several laps, but has now lost the momentum. Rayner back in 5th, now has Curtis in 6th, closing in. As Pops continues to lay down blistering laps, lap traffic could come into play. Oh, big wreck in turn 2. 3 laps to go. Rob Curtis managed to clear the track, no problems. And out of turn 4, 2 laps to go at Lernerville. Pop still has the lead. Landis, though, right there with him. And here we go. White flag flies one more time around. Pat in 3rd has dropped back from the battle. One last sin from Landis. It will not be enough. And Pops Moore pulls off the win at Lernerville. Man, what a way to start the night. Anytime we go dirt racing, it's a lot of fun, but man, they put on one heck of a show tonight. And let's see if we can talk to our top 3, starting with Pat Boyce. Give me just a minute. First broadcast, we always run into 1 or 2 technical issues. I got to give credit to these guys, though. They are quick to respond and get things done. All right, let's see. Let's start with second place, Terry Landis. Oh, we have Pat now. Let's get our top 3, starting with Pat. Maybe? All right, Pat. Hey guys, due to technical difficulties, I'm going to interview you all 3 right here. So, first off, starting with Pat, man, one heck of a race. It looked like you had the speed there, but in the last half of the race, as the track slicked off, you lost ground.
Yeah, ground. I went up and tagged the wall just a little bit in the straightaway, and I had a bent wheel, and I just lost speed from there on out.
Well, you definitely managed to hold on for a third place run, and one heck of a run and quite a battle up front as well, man. Great job tonight.
Thank you very much.
Terry, I have to say that last send on the final lap, I didn't know if you'd pull it off or end up in the wall. That was one heck of a final lap.
Thanks, Doug. Man, kudos to Brian. That was freaking awesome. I was doing everything I could to get by him, and there wasn't no way I was going to go above him because I didn't want to take it off, and go around because I like to run the bottom. And he did a good job. He's run the bottom, and I couldn't get by him. So kudos to Brian.
Oh, man, you definitely made that bottom work really, really well, especially in the early part of the race. And it looked extremely fast. You and Pat had one heck of a battle going on back there as well. To come home in second, one heck of a run tonight.
Thanks, Doug. Yeah, Pat was giving me a hard time. That was fun running with both them guys.
Well, a great job nonetheless. And I have to say, Pops, you kind of had them schooled tonight.
Well, I don't know about that, but when my lap time started falling off when I was running around the top, I thought, man, I'm going to have to go to the bottom because that's Terry's line. So before he gets up here and passes me, I'm going to the bottom. And, man, I know I don't hit that bottom as good as he does. And there, the last 2 or 3 laps, I was really struggling. I think I screwed up one time and touched that infield, and it kind of set me sideways. So I thought sure he was going to go by me then. But kudos for him for, lifting when he had to because I wasn't as fast as him and racing me clean. That was fun.
Well, you guys definitely put on one heck of a show. That is one heck of a way to start the night and the season. Congratulations. Now to Daytona.
Great. Thank you.
And there you have it, folks. The top 3 from Lernerville. But now a quick trip to Daytona. Folks, stick around. We'll be back in just a moment coming to you from Daytona. And they will be racing the Legacy Dallara DW12 Indy cars. You know it's going to be fast. You know it's going to be exciting. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a moment.